Hey.
Hi. So I just wanted to let you guys know I'm not a goth. Just saying. I'm just me, and I don't ever have to prove a point to people I don't fucking know. Anyway. Hey, there's a gem on my foot.
Like, what happened here? What happened?
You already know what happened.
Oh, there's a lot of stuff.
Apparently, there's this like one goth person in like some state.
Oh, they're all gatekeepers. They all act the same.
Hi,
Natalie. Hey, Natalie.
Hello. Hi, Aka. Hello. Hi, Calvin. What's up?
Hi, Calvin.
Hey, Zool. How are you?
Sorry.
By the way, Natalie, look at it's the gummy bears. I'm wearing the gummy bears.
Oh, man.
Okay, so tonight we are talking about Shawcross. And I know that we have addressed this before, but we had a special guest who took over the entire feed and was annoying as fuck. Okay? And, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I thought we would do this without some screeching blonde bitch in here.
We're actually revisiting Shawcross now to actually talk about him.
Yeah, and not about, oh my god, he was in my area! So, I am going to start with explicit content. So, trigger warning, explicit content. Also, this presentation is for educational purposes only. How you use this information is your responsibility, and I will not be held accountable for illegal activities. The related content may be disturbing to some individuals. Viewer discretion is advised. And last but not least, under the fair use, another author may make limited use of the original author's work without asking permission. Pursuant to 17 U.S. Code 107, certain uses of copyrighted material for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, including multiple copies for classroom use, scholarship, or research is not an infringement on copyright.
Haha, yeah.
Take that shit.
Yeah. we need to smoke and dance in the same spot like goths do. Yep. Just take a drag, shuffle to the left, shuffle to the right.
By the way, no not talking shit on goths in general. Just one bitch that thinks she's a goth.
Oh, no. Sisters of Mercy is freaking awesome. So is The Cure, even though The Cure is actually... Robert Smith has never claimed to be goth.
I am drinking balls. And I added...
Rib?
Oh, my God. It says high caffeine soda. I didn't know that. I added some violet liqueur to it because I wanted it to be pretty and match what I was wearing.
Okay.
Take that! And yes, Sisters of Mercy is awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get started on this.
You know, it's not so much Sisters of Mercy, it's Floodland. I absolutely love Floodland. That album is fucking awesome.
Hey,
Sykes, what's going on?
What up? And did you say balls? I said balls.
Remember, go vote for the Nightmare Clowns.
Guys, make sure to go vote for Nightmare Clowns. I think Dizzy is in this round right now. And...
I don't know.
Yes.
Is he?
Dizzy is still in this current round.
No. I thought that he won last round, and now they're doing.
He's still in this new round. He got drawn, and he's in.
So he didn't get a break.
No. So he is in Group D right now. Disaster. Go vote for Disaster.
Oh, I get it.
In Group D. Vote. And that's on scurryface.com, guys. And remember, in this round, it is only one vote per person per day. So, multiple votes will not be counted from the same IP.
I don't know.
Vote!
Okay, let's get into this.
Yeah, I was trying to.
Yep.
All right, so we're going to be talking about Arthur Shawcross.
Yes.
And this motherfucker...
This guy is something else. Absolutely something else.
I'm trying to see if I can save this image. There we go.
Yep.
This guy was a special...
He was a special kind of evil.
Yeah. Definitely a special kind of evil.
Look
at that ugly mug.
Yeah. I definitely had the forceps damage too when he was pulled out of the womb. Right there.
Look at
the eyes.
Yep. It's aligned.
Yep.
All right, let's get started. So, Arthur John Shawcross was born June 6, 1945, and died November 10th, 2008. He is also known as the Genesee River Killer.
Genesee.
Whatever. I'm not from New York. And was an American serial killer that was active in Rochester, New York.
Well, he was active. It wasn't just Rochester.
Yes, but we were just talking about Rochester this time.
Yep.
Predominantly in Rochester, okay? So his first known murders were in 1972 when he killed a young boy and a girl in his hometown of Waterton, New York. Under the terms of a plea bargain, Shawcross was allowed to plead guilty to one charge of manslaughter, for which he served 14 years of a 25-year sentence.
The crazy thing about this is these are the two killings he won't talk about, or at least the one with the boy. He'll brag about all those other stuff he did. He'll go into detail to shock people. He'll make up stuff to shock people. But when it comes to this killing right here, he won't talk about it.
For some reason,
he wouldn't talk about it because
this is the one that he was ashamed of.
Yeah, it was more or less
of all of them.
It was more or less a means of he needed to go kill and do what he had to do.
Thank you, Sykes.
Yep.
Thank you. He said, everyone go follow Psycho Bunny DC, Psycho Bunny Death Cult, and Psychomantium 13. Don't forget Roots Bleed Red and Channel 9. Those people over at Channel 9 are fucking crazy. So, let's see. Oh, he killed most of his victims in 88 and 89 after being paroled early, which led to criticism of the justice system. A food service worker, Shawcross trawled the streets of Rochester in his girlfriend's 1984 sky blue Dodge Omni, later using her 87 Chevy Celebrity.
We had an 87 Chevy Celebrity.
Yeah.
We did.
Was it blue-gray?
No, this was like brown. And it was a station wagon. It was a station wagon version of this.
And so he'd actually use the Celebrity to go try to kill, while looking for sex workers to kill.
It was much more fancier.
Fancy bitch.
He looked like he was a lower middle class worker with some cash to spend.
So, as you guys know, he died on November 10th, 2008, while serving a sentence of 250 years for his crimes. And this was at the age of 63 years old. According to the news, he went into cardiac arrest and died soon after. Dr. Michael H. Stone, a professor of psychiatry at Columbia University and an authority on violent behavior, identified Shawcross as one of the most egregious examples of the unwarranted release of a prisoner.
Yeah, there was even when they tried to release him, like the local his city where he originally committed the first two crimes, they wouldn't have him back. They actually ended up having to seal his record so that he could be released to Rochester.
Yeah.
So and then I think it was almost immediately, like within the first year of him being released, he started killing again.
Mm-hmm. Well, so some of his names is the Genesee River Killer, the Monster of the Rivers, and the Rochester Strangler. When
we get into how he's caught, it's actually pretty hilarious, though. It was pretty stupid.
Yeah, pretty much. So let's get into his early life.
But that's also the case for like
most
serial killers. Like it's hard to catch them because it's
usually just stupid chance.
Yeah, the crimes are very random for police. They start seeing motives and stuff like that, or MOs and how they do things. But especially if they catch a serial killer who's just barely starting, they change up their MOs and stuff like that to what better suits them and everything.
Yeah. So let's get into his early life. Shawcross was born in Kittery, Maine, the first of 4 children of Arthur Roy Shawcross and Elizabeth Eurakes Shawcross, known as Bessie or Betty. His family moved to Waterton, New York when he was young, while several later tests showed Shawcross's intelligence to be subnormal or even borderline. This is what this says. Borderline retarded. And it was that time, by the way.
They still use that term. I don't know why everyone gets.
Everyone gets very upset about the term.
It's a derogatory term when people. It's the context you use it in.
Yeah, if you use it in a derogatory way, it's derogatory. But this is the term that was being used for him. But he received A's and B's for the first 2 years of grade school.
He was from the time he was born, and then moving into childhood, he was abused and stuff. He had a couple head injuries. He was I don't know if it was so much that his parents were abusive towards him. He said that there was some child molestation from his mom and aunt, but they completely said no. He was just making that up. And
he wanted a reason.
Well, no, he liked to shock people, is what it was.
Yeah,
and he did have a few head injuries when he was a kid. Which once he had those head injuries, they actually said that he actually was not acting like he usually would. That's when he started getting into, talking about he would kill his uncle, stuff like that. It was weird. Like it really, really was like just random stuff. Like whenever he would bully his nieces and nephews and stuff like that.
So Natalie said, it seems that there's always a lot of mistakes in hunting them down, investigations, and bringing them in. It really does.
It gets into the whole. What were his victims? His initial victims were children, so they caught him real fast.
Mm-hmm.
His later victims were the less dead.
Yes,
streetwalkers and stuff like that, and people that a lot of people in society think of. Well, he's not killing the nice people; he's killing sex workers and stuff like that. So we don't really have to worry about him so much. The issue, though, is how he messed up in a very stupid way. That's how he got caught.
Sorry, I started giggling because I just noticed Godzilla's face.
Oh. That's the Return of Godzilla right there, 1984. I think this one is the 1984 one because it's all in Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, there was a 1985, which was the American version. The crazy thing is
oh god, I got him started on Godzilla.
Real fast, so let me get this out of here. In 1954, when the original movie came out, what's his face? Guy who played Perry Mason, was it Raymond Burr? No, not Raymond Burr. What's his face who played Perry Mason? I can't think of his name. He wasn't in the original one, but he was in the. There we go. Don't touch. Put it down. There we go. In 1955, they had him in there, and then when the movies came out in 1984, the Japanese actually made him canon. And there you
go. That's what I was trying to touch. Okay, so sorry about that, y'all. I hit a button.
Well, there's a back key on there because it's a gamer mouse.
Yep. All right. So, yeah, it was kind of weird that he was getting A's and B's, but they were testing him as having an IQ of about 86, which is significantly...
That doesn't take away from a kid actually being able to do the work and stuff. It just...
Yeah. So, Shawcross said throughout his childhood, he was frequently a bedwetter, which is part of the McDonald triad. Yay! Sorry. And if you don't know what the McDonald triad is, it's a set of 3 factors.
You have to have 2 of them.
So the presence of any 2 of which are considered to be predictive of or associated with violent tendencies, particularly in relation to serial offenses. So, and the reason why it's called that is psychiatrist J.M. McDonald proposed the theory in an article that he wrote in 1963 called The Threat to Kill. Yes. So, he later claimed his mother performed oral sex on him for several years, starting when he was 7 years old, and that during junior high, he had sexual relations with his sister. Shawcross had a reputation at school as a bully and would frequently act out violently. He dropped out of high school in 1960.
So what in the crap? What in the cup? we have a gamer mouse.
What's in the cup?
Oh, what's in the cup? I'm sorry. I am drinking. I'm reading things differently. I'm sorry. What is it? I can't pronounce it, but it's German. It's a smoked.
Sven, beer. Where are you?
Where is Sven or Carl?
Carl.
Yeah.
Guys, tag Sven and Carl.
It's a smoked beer. It actually tastes the way smoked Gouda smells.
I'm not sure about that. Natalie, it's okay. I booted myself. I booted us from our own feed. And I'm not even drinking. This is liqueur. Like, literally, the liqueur was 20%, and I put not even a shot. I just added color.
You're such a lightweight.
Actually, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. I am not lightweight at all. I just don't drink anymore. Anywho, so in April of 1967, at the age of 21, he was drafted by the Army, and at this time, Shawcross had divorced his first wife and gave up his rights to their 18-month-old son, whom he never saw again.
Lucky, right there.
Mm-hmm.
And they can't find him right now. Or I think there's the same thing where the mother didn't tell him anything, none of it. Hey, Angie.
Hey, Angie. What's up?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So he served one tour of duty in Vietnam where he boasted of grotesque combat exploits, such as, and I quote, beheading mamasans and nailing their heads to trees as a warning to the Viet Cong, unquote.
Well,
and in reality, he never served in a combat position.
He was a clerk, and he basically handed out weapons and all that stuff. That's all he did. He never saw a minute of combat.
Probably a good thing that his son didn't ever meet him.
He's like the vast. There's only one serial killer that actually saw combat and was good at his job, and that was William Bonin.
Yeah.
Whereas Shawcross and all the other ones who've gone in the Army, they end up being clerks and they don't do anything. They just end up being
and usually they lie about.
Oh yeah.
So after Vietnam, he was stationed in Fort Sill in Lawton, Oklahoma, as an armorer. His second wife, Linda, experienced several aspects of his disturbing behavior, especially his penchant for starting fires. An Army psychiatrist told her that Shawcross derived sexual enjoyment from starting fires.
Which is a big indicator that they're serial killers right there.
Which, again, goes back to the McDonald triad, actually. So, let's go into returning to New York. After his discharge from the Army, Shawcross moved with his wife from Oklahoma to Clayton, New York. His wife would soon divorce him, and he began committing crimes such as arson and burglary. Mm-hmm. His offenses earned him a 5-year sentence in Attica, which is a correctional facility, and later he went to Auburn Correctional Facility. After serving about 22 months, he was granted an early release in October of 1971, in part due to his role in the rescue of a correctional officer during a prison riot.
The crazy thing,
So I mean, it's kind of weird that he did that. I mean, for his character.
It was more or less for his standing and stuff like that. He didn't do it to save his life.
Oh yeah, no, but at the same time, it is kind of odd.
But it was stuff like that got him released early.
Yeah, I mean, they were like, oh, he's such a model citizen, and oh man, he is doing so well, and blah, 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 blah.
The bodies of chaos are coming for you. The bodies of chaos are coming for you.
Good morning! Hi!
Hey!
Damn those bunnies. I gotta do something real fast. Save image. Save. Okay. All right, so here we go. Hey, Mikey, what's up? Yeah, shit. The BOC. All right, let's get back into this. So, Shawcross returned to Watertown, eventually getting a job with the Watertown Public Works Department.
Don't go down to Watertown. Expecting all your sins to be washed away. That's a good song.
Oh, it is Watertown.
Yep.
I keep saying Watertown.
It's Watertown.
Whatever, Watertown. And he got married for a third time at this point. So on May 7th, 1972, he raped and killed his first known victim, 10-year-old Jack Owen Blake. After luring the boy into the woods, and so Blake's body was not found until authorities received a tip by phone on September 5th, which was probably him.
No, it wasn't. It was the tip by phone was someone random. It was basically what he would do is again how they caught him. With this one, I want to say that he was riding a bike near where they found the body.
Okay, that's right.
And it was the same thing. He's like, "Oh, I'm just coming over here to fish," and they're like, "There's something up with this." And again, because it was children, they end up actually looking deep into what he did and who he was. Saw that he had a lot of issues with already going to jail once.
Mm-hmm. So on September 2nd, just prior to the body's discovery, he raped and killed 8-year-old Karen Ann Hill, who had been visiting Watertown with her mother for Labor Day weekend. Shawcross was arrested the next day. A grand jury indicted Shawcross for murder in Hill's death. On October 17th, he was allowed to plead guilty to a lesser charge of first-degree manslaughter for both deaths and was sentenced to an indeterminate term with a maximum of 25 years at Attica. So, Jefferson County District Attorney William McCluskey explained the plea by stating that other than Shawcross's confession to the police, there was no direct evidence that linked Blake to Shawcross. So, and McCluskey also suggested that Shawcross could have argued at the trial that he was under extreme emotional disturbance, and a jury would have been likely to arrive at a verdict of manslaughter as opposed to murder. In November, he was transferred from Attica to Greenhaven Correctional Facility.
So the thing is, like, with him being put in there.
So, yeah, he was a wackadoo.
Yeah, he was. He was very much out of his mind. Not out of his mind. He knew what he was doing. He was just...
He was competent enough to stand trial. He knew what he was doing was wrong. He was just an ass.
It's all related to... I don't think with him, it was all related to the fact that he had the ED real bad. Hey, Star!
Hey, Star! Guys, we got the Nightmare Clowns in here. This is awesome. Go.
So he had ED real bad. He basically couldn't get it up. And the thing with Shawcross, too, is found out he was actually very well endowed, especially with how he looked. You're like, what the fuck? How's this guy?
Apparently.
Yeah. One of his victims, he choked to death with it. No joke.
Yeah, well, I think we'll get to that. Yeah. Mikey says, no more brew. Fucking store is closed. It's only 9 p.m. and denied, dude.
Is that Texas? Is that just how it is in Texas? Like, you're
not
allowed to have beers after 9 o'clock?
I don't know. Maybe it's just the location.
We come for your daughter, Chuck.
All right. So, Jefferson County District Attorney. Okay, let's go back over here. So after 14 years, inexperienced prison staff and social workers concluded that Shawcross was, quote, no longer dangerous. Disregarding the warnings of psychiatrists who assessed...
He raped and murdered
two children.
Children, and I think he actually went back and cannibalized one of them.
Possibly, yes. So, they disregarded the warnings of psychiatrists who had assessed Shawcross as schizoid psychopathic. He was released on parole in April of 1987. He had difficulty settling down in communities as the neighbors would protest his presence and employers would fire him, as they should.
They literally hunted this guy down in one of the cities or towns where he was released to, or trying to, with practically torches and pitchforks.
Mm-hmm.
They literally came to where he was being released, and they're like, no, he's not coming here. So it finally came down to I think you're about to get to that. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
I just have to put this up, dude. Alberto's is the shit.
Alberto, I thought they closed down, or they were closing. Oh no, the one near in Pomona did, wasn't it?
No, you're talking about Juan Pollo.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay.
Alberto's. There's Alberto's, and another one similar. They all have the guy sitting with the sombrero that faces down, and it's always in the same writing. But yeah, they're so good, and they're all over SoCal and Arizona.
Oh, that's cool.
They're so good.
I'm waiting for Tacos La Num Nums to be all over because Tacos La Villa has spread to everywhere here in Bakersfield, and I bet you they're going to end up being in Los Angeles too.
I miss Taqueria de Anda.
Which once you guys have Tacos La Villa, Sykes, you're gonna be like, this is amazing.
Oh, another one just opened up where the old Golden Ox used to be. Nice.
When Liz first moved here, she's all, you guys have Golden Ox here too? I was like, no. You guys got Golden Ox down south. I was like, we knew the family. And my parents and me, we were friends with the family who owned who originally started Golden Ox.
Can I just make a comment?
Greeks
and this is
make
completely
the best hamburgers ever.
This is completely like off subject, but how cool is it that during the halftime show they were standing on top of a Tam's Burgers? Just saying, it's a California thing, it's an LA thing, but I was way too excited about the fact that they were on top of a Tam's. Anyway.
Yeah, I think we have 2 Golden Ox left here too, and they basically sold them out to whoever, and they're not as good as they used to be.
Yeah, they're greasy now. Extra greasy. Yeah. All right, let's get back into this. Sorry. Sykes, yeah, that was cool. Hell yeah. I loved that halftime show. I was so happy. So, because he kept getting run out of all these neighborhoods and he couldn't get continued employment, he first moved to Bingham, New York, and then relocated to Delhi, New York with his girlfriend, Rosemary Wally. Then Delhi residents became aware of Shawcross's presence, and the couple moved to nearby Fleischmann's. Isn't that a food?
I thought Fleischmann's was like a market or something like that.
A food, no, like a like they make mayonnaise and shit. So in New York, only to be met with more hostility. Shocker, right?
Yep.
And in late June of '87, Shawcross's parole officer moved him and Wally into a transient hotel in Rochester, New York, but failed to notify Rochester authorities of this action. In mid-October, Shawcross and Wally found more permanent lodgings on Alexander Street in Rochester.
Pogo!
Hey, Pogo! How are you? Thank you for joining in. Hello, Mrs. Pogo, as well.
What's going on?
We are doing great. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yes. Ooh. Okay. Yes. California School for the Deaf was there too. And that was super cool. No.
Oh.
The Super Bowl.
I'm just kidding. It was. I saw that.
The Super Bowl. And they had apparently.
Weren't they out of Riverside? Wasn't it? They were saying out of Riverside? Yeah.
And apparently, though, they had a wonderful football season.
Yep.
I want to say the first football season, but a wonderful football season. It is at the 30-minute mark, guys. We are going to go to break, and when we come back, we will continue with this. We'll be back.
This is Mikey from Out of the Ordinary, and you're watching PBDC TV.
listening to music and getting a little bit of time for some creepy research, I'm always representing with my PBDC merch. What a better way to have a cup of coffee in the morning.
Don't forget to check out our other cool merch at rootsbleedred.com. That's rootsbleedred.com.
This is Professor Edgar Fluffosaurus from Spooky Tales with Steve the Cat, and when I'm not hosting Monster Chat or knocking down small Japanese cities, I'm watching PBDC TV. Now back to the show.
Hey.
Hi. All right, we are back. And boop. All right, so second series of murders. So in March of 1988, Shawcross began murdering again, of course. And this time it was primarily sex workers in the area.
The crazy thing about his victims, though, is too with he had a weird fixation with oral sex. Like, absolutely, like he was very fixated on that. That was the vast majority of his victims would just that's what he wanted to perform on them.
Yeah. Well, okay, so he began murdering primarily sex workers again, with the exception of June Stott, who was actually a local and was the first one of his victims to be mutilated after her death.
Oh wow. Oh, that's the one that he cannibalized.
Yes.
I'm sorry, it wasn't the kids he cannibalized. He did come back. The girl he wasn't able to do anything with because he caught him the next day, but the boy he did come back and mess around with the body for a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So before his capture, less than 2 years later, he was convicted of 11 murders, with a 12th not officially charged to him. And the victims were, and I'm going to go through the victims real fast, and then we're going to talk about a little bit of his modus operandi and stuff like that. So, number 1, Dorothy Blackburn, known as Dotsy. She was 27, and this was on March 8th. She disappeared March 18th, 1988, and she was found March 24th, 1988. Number 2, Anna Marie Steffen. She was 28. She disappeared July 9th, 1988, and she wasn't found until September 11th, 1988. Number 3, Dorothy Keeler, age 59. She was the oldest of the victims, and she disappeared July 29th, 1989, and was not found until October 21st, 1989. Patricia Ives, age 25, also known as Patty, disappeared September 29th, 1989, and was found October 27th, 1989. June Stott, and this is the one that she was the first one to be mutilated, and she was not a sex worker.
Mm-hmm. She was I want to say she was also
wasn't she like walking down the street to a
no, it was I want to say she was the one, and I'm not sure on this. I'm not 100% sure, but I think she was the one that she was special needs a little bit. She had a low IQ and everything too, and they were friends. And then he ended up he took her out for the day and then raped and murdered her.
Hi, Lisa. Welcome.
Hi, Lisa.
Thank you for joining us tonight. We're going through some victims of Arthur Shawcross right now. So Marie Welch was 22 years old. She disappeared on November 5th, 1989, and she wasn't found till January 5th, 1990.
Which was, wow, like a couple years after he was already in jail, I think.
No, it was...
No, when did he get convicted?
It was only 2 months later.
Was it? Oh, you're right, yeah, sorry.
So Frances, known as Franny Brown, also 22. She disappeared November 11th, 1989, and was found November 5th, 1989. So that one was pretty fast. November 15th, rather.
Yeah, this is where it gets pretty fast here.
And this is where it's definitely berserker mode. I mean, he's pretty much been in berserker mode the entire time, but this gets like one back to back to back.
It was basically, hey, I got released and I was good for a year, but now I really needed to get this out. So
Franny was killed November 11th, found November 15th. Kimberly Logan was killed November 15th and found November 15th. And then Liz Gibson. So Kimberly Logan was 30, by the way. I forgot to mention that. So Liz Gibson, 29, disappeared November 25th, 89, and was found January 5th, 90. June Cicero, she was 33. She disappeared December 17th, 89, was found January 3rd, 90. And the 12th victim, which was not officially charged to him, Felicia Stevens, she was 20. She disappeared December 28th, 1989, and was found December 31st, 1989. So all of the victims were murdered in Monroe County except for Liz Gibson, who was killed in neighboring Wayne County. The retired detective Robert Keppel has argued that the detectives investigating the case over-relied on the concept of modus operandi and at times searching for multiple suspects due to small differences in the profiles for each victim. And let's see here. On January 5th, 1990, 2 days after June Cicero's body was discovered by aerial surveillance, police arrested Shawcross. He had been spotted by an eyewitness and a police surveillance team standing near his car, apparently urinating on a bridge over Salmon Creek, where the body of his final victim had been dumped.
Would go out there to see the victims and stuff like that. The funny thing is he actually says, "I noticed the helicopter, but I really had to pee." That's literally how he got caught. I'm
You made
sorry.
Pogo yawn.
Isn't it like morning time there or something? Or it's like late afternoon in Australia?
You can be tired any time of the day,
I'm
okay?
kidding.
All right, so
It's morning and like in the middle of the summertime right now. Actually, isn't it like summertime on the south of the equator or something? These are all the victims right here.
I just wanted to show you guys these are the victims, including the 2 young children up there.
Yeah.
And like I said, the majority of them were sex workers, except for this one right here. That one is the one that we were talking about.
I'm not sure.
No, I'm sure.
Okay.
This is the one we were talking about right here, who was supposed to be a friend of his that he took advantage of and murdered.
Well, he actually had something also in common with Edmund Kemper too, where he would hang out at the Dunkin' Donuts or something like that, and talk with police officers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He actually he would actually go out and pick up regular sex workers. He would go out and pick up sex workers, and would actually just not even. A lot of them actually knew him as being nice and stuff like that. Hey, Mike.
Hey, Mike. How are you? And it is 12:17 p.m.
2:17.
2:17, rather. I can't think.
It is 7:41 p.m. But we're in the past, and you're in the future.
Donuts.
Yep. But yeah, he would go around talking with police officers at the donut shops, which is actually pretty stereotypical. Sorry. Cops getting donuts.
Hi, Bobo.
Hey.
Welcome. How are you?
Oh, he's on Twitch.
Yeah, I love seeing people over on Twitch.
Yep.
All right, so we're going to get to trial and conviction. In November 1990, Shawcross was tried by Monroe County First Assistant District Attorney Charles J. Siragusa for the 10 murders in Monroe County. Shawcross pled not guilty by reason of insanity. Yeah. With testimony from forensic psychiatrist Dorothy Lewis that he had brain damage, multiple personality disorder, now known as dissociative identity disorder, and PTSD.
Yep. And
that he had been sexually abused as a child, which, like we said earlier, was later proven to be a fabrication.
The women vehemently denied it, is what it was. They never really looked into it.
Oh, well, then it wasn't.
There might have been some sexual abuse there.
Well, I wouldn't doubt it.
But I don't think it was by his mother or his sister or aunt or whatever he said it was. I'm pretty sure it was probably by an outside source.
Yeah. Sorry, looking at comments here.
Yep.
I don't have a DeLorean, but I do have a Harley. I don't want donuts. I want beer. Calvin lives in Monroe County, Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
He's got brain damage.
Zool says it's 942 where he's at.
Oh,
Zool, he's in Zool? What state do you live in?
2 hours ahead of us.
It's got to be between Mississippi and Texas because I think that's Mountain Time. Is it? Yeah.
That's Texas.
Or Texas?
time.
No, I think
that's Central.
I think Mississippi is too.
This is Central.
Yeah.
So here we go. Lewis also claimed that Shawcross moved into a separate internal personality named Bessie when he killed, arguing for Shawcross to be institutionalized rather than being returned to the prison systems.
St. Louis.
Oh, nice.
That's nice.
Is that why you're mad at the Rams? It's because like they left you, but they left us first.
I don't like the Rams one bit. I'm sorry, I didn't. I was rooting for the Bengals the whole time.
So, Shawcross, who had served in Vietnam with the 4th Supply and Transport Company of the 4th Infantry Division, had told many outlandish tales of murderous activities, including cannibalism, often perpetrated while alone in the jungle. From the time Shawcross returned from his tour of duty, he told acquaintances of seeing American soldiers skinned from their neck to their ankles and claimed to have decapitated 2 women he had victimized, placing their heads on poles.
Look, the only person that is really known to have done that was Richard Ramirez's uncle, or cousin. Was it his cousin?
Uncle.
Was it? Yeah, and how messed up he was. Dear God, he actually legitimately did that stuff. What's going on? Snowtown! The Snowtown murders! Oh, sorry, I was reading that.
Pogo says he lives in Snowtown, the home of the bodies of the barrels and the bank.
But those murders were committed outside of Snowtown, wasn't it? And he actually, what's his face? I can't think of the guy's name, but he rented like a space where he could have and he left the barrels there. Wasn't it? It was like an old bank or something. He put them in. Oh, that's what it was. It's an old bank vault, wasn't it? I think so. Yeah, that's a pretty brutal one. And then you have what's her face? Not in Snowtown, but the lady who was a butcher and like cooked and ate her husband.
I was thinking about that crazy lady that was down there that was like going into, what was it, like a 7-Eleven or something, like with a freaking axe going after people.
Oh no, they lived. That one guy though, you get it on. I saw straight. She just hits him right in the face, and you're like, oh, it didn't do much damage, but it was it broke his, it fractured his face, everything like that.
It fucked him up. I was like,
but he's just standing there like waiting in line,
and she just went, bah! Whew.
Yeah,
crazy people. Whew. All right, so for the record, he was a clerk. He did not do these things that we know of.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Actually, I was wrong. He was not. From what it sounds like, he was in charge of was basically MREs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We live on the same street as Bank 6 houses up. 6 houses up. Oh.
Oh wow.
Rob, I'm sorry, Pogo. I'm going to.
We want to pick your brain.
I'm going to message you after this tonight, or if I don't get too stoned later. But definitely, I will message you tomorrow to talk with you, because that's crazy. I want to see pictures of is the bank still up? Is it still?
They did kill one person in bank.
Yeah. Okay, that's what it was. Remember, I think that was the person they lured there, saying that they were going to sell him a computer or something like that. At the time. At the time, computers were like they were like $2,000-$3,000.
All right, so let's see here. FBI criminal profiler Robert K. Ressler reviewed the PTSD claim on behalf of the prosecution before trial. Ressler wrote that his claim of having witnessed wartime atrocities was patently outrageous and untrue.
They literally knew they had to draft him. They had to take him. But at the same time, the Army was like, you're not the type to fire guns at everybody.
No, but they're saying that like he never did any of that.
Hi, Stephen P. Kit Kat.
Hey, what's up? It's okay.
Watching the original Texas Chainsaw. Oh, nice. I love that movie.
You know what? No worries.
Yeah.
And yeah.
It happens. It's the same as last Monday. I was completely busy. I wasn't able to catch.
Bank is still there and someone lives there.
Someone lives?
It's not a bank.
No.
Bank.
No, it's a bank. It has a vault and everything like that. That's where they hid the bodies. They put them inside the vault. It was a that he rented out.
Huh.
And that was a crazy thing because Australia, you have a ton of places to hide a body, but these people decided to keep the bodies in. Mind you, here's the crazy thing. It's a 44-gallon drum. I think, and it wasn't 55-gallon drums.
Gacy, Dahmer. I mean, they all like to have them near them.
Well, no, it's a different situation. There was like 3 or 4 of them, I think, wasn't it? Pogo that they had it was a group of them, and what's his face was the main guy who was like getting people to kill other people or whatnot. They would torture the bodies.
We'll get into it at some point. So, prosecution psychiatrist Dr. Park Dietz said that Shawcross had antisocial personality disorder. Yeah, they keep that vault closed. I would definitely keep that vault closed.
The crazy thing, before that, I want to say, because I've never been to Australia, but everything I was reading about it, Snowtown didn't have a lot of like traffic when it came to like vacationers and stuff like that. But now, ever since then, they have a lot of people coming in there to visit Snowtown because of the murders. So what's it called? Not holiday traffic. I can't think of what it's called. I'm having a brain fart.
So let's get into the imprisonment. Shawcross was held at Sullivan Correctional Facility in Fallsburg, New York, until he died on November 10th, 2008 at Albany Medical Center. Something that I wanted to mention that I'm not seeing my notes on. He met his daughter and granddaughter.
Yeah.
And his granddaughter was all about it.
Well, look at the shirt she's wearing.
So
awesome. She's into black metal.
This is the daughter. And
the granddaughter's wearing the Burzum shirt. The daughter is wearing...
Point for me, because I can't.
The daughter is not the long-haired one.
So the the granddaughter...
Well, the crazy thing is...
like, cool, sure, whatever.
The crazy thing is with this, they were saying that one of the times that he would be normal and talk to them like they're, family, grandparent or grandkids and daughters like that. The next time he came, he saw his granddaughter and said, "I'd fuck you." Like, just blurted it out. He's like, "I'd totally have sex with you right now if I could."
And I would assume this is the first time they met here.
Yeah, this is even after that, they came back to visit him a lot.
So, in 2003, Shawcross was interviewed by British reporter Catherine English for a documentary on cannibalism. Shawcross bragged about slicing out and eating the vulvae of 3 victims, but refused to discuss his earlier claim of eating the genitals of his first victim,
that
Jack Blake.
Claim can actually be heard in a Cannibal Corpse song.
Yep.
That's on Tomb of the Mutilated. I can't remember what the song is called, but it starts off as, "Oh, I cut her down from her neck down to her anus." And it's like, and I thought that was part of the song. I thought someone just made, I thought it was Chris Barnes or something like that. And I looked it up. It was like, that's Arthur Shawcross. And he's being serious.
Mm-hmm. So it was later determined that Shawcross had a cyst pressing on his temporal lobe of his brain, as well as scarring to his frontal lobe areas that are responsible for self-control and decision-making. So his death. Officials said 63-year-old Shawcross complained of pain in his leg on the afternoon of November 10th, 2008. He was taken to Albany Medical Center, where he went into cardiac arrest and died shortly after on that same day. He was pronounced dead by 9:50 p.m., November 10th, 2008.
That's it.
And that's pretty much it. You know what? There's a few different things, some references here. Michael H. Stone, The Anatomy of Evil. It's a book. The Misbegotten Son, Delacorte Press, by Jack Olson. Boy's Body Found in Woods. This was the article about Jack. The boy that was Jack Blake that was found. Let's go into a few other things here. I was trying to see if there was maybe...
There's a lot of stuff on Arthur Shawcross.
There's even one called "Is This Why Ted Bundy Became a Murderer?" and it references Shawcross.
How so? How would that be linked?
I don't know. It's from Vanity Fair.
Ted Bundy started
last year or 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's just retarded. That's ridiculous. No, he Ted Bundy started off in Washington and then worked his way across the United States, and it was before. How would they even meet up?
I don't know. No, they didn't meet up.
They didn't meet up, but I'm like, they didn't. It was two different things.
Yeah. Anyway,
if you're looking at it right now, sorry, you just typed in Shawcross metal songs. I'm pretty sure Macabre has a song about Shawcross. Too Many Mutilated is the album that's on. Oh man, Angry Typing. I'm sorry.
Okay, so
which song is it?
I can't remember what song it is, but I can hear the lyrics in my head.
I hear the opening and just bring up the. Oh.
Okay.
Oh, it's fine. I don't know. I can't remember the name of the song.
Anyway,
later on today when
we'll be like,
when we're done here and I find the song, I'll post it
and Eaton.
I'll post it to Eaton and Psycho Bunny Death Cult so you guys can see it.
All right, so thank you guys for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it as always, and please make sure to go like, follow, share, and smash that bell on Psycho Bunny Death Cult, Psycho Bunny DC, Psychomantium 13, Roots Bleed Red, and PBDC TV.
Yes.
Also, if you go to my personal page, Liz Clevenger, I have a GoFundMe up, and I'm sorry to do this to you guys. It is also up on Psycho Bunny Death Cult, or PsychoBunnyDC.com, Psychomantium13.com, and RootsBleedRed.com. A friend of mine is fighting for her life against cancer right now, very aggressive cancer, and her insurance decided to fuck her over. So she is actually currently in the hospital right now, attempting to get her pain under control. And
sorry, I wasn't laughing. I saw Pogo.
I know. And needs some assistance. So if you guys would like to go, if you guys can donate, awesome. If you cannot donate, that's okay too. All I ask is try to share. Also, we are selling bath bombs for that purpose. And speaking of selling things, we have come out with a new line of merch. It is psychic and full of voodoo. You do not want to miss out. We have cups. Check that out. It even says Roots Bleed Red on the foot. But it doesn't just have to be Roots Bleed Red. You can get any of your favorite shows on the Voodoo Doll's foot.
You can get the Horror Gallery with Mother de la Mort.
You can get the Spooky Tales of Steve the Cat, Out of the Ordinary, and even Double Jupiter.
Yeah. Oh, you said Out of the Ordinary too. Yep.
And so go ahead and check that out. Again, that's going to be on PsychoBunnyDC.com and Psychomantium13.com. Anything else you can think of?
No, I think that's it.
All right, I'm going to play the ad for...
And we are out of here.
Where's the voodoo ad? I'm going to play the voodoo ad, and then we're going to get out of here. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. Have a wonderful night.